All right, we are going live today because listen, I've been posting about all these things with the burnout and how are we supposed to get back to ourselves and what we're supposed to do with our lives. Like we oftentimes hear this word burnout and we're like, wait, I know I feel some kind of way, but I don't know if what you're talking about is what I feel. And so I want us to talk about why you're burnt out and then what we are going to do about it. So I'm Letitia, your favorite mindset coach, licensed counselor, and founder of Minds Under Construction. If you have ever found yourself doing all the things and still feeling empty, and when I say empty, I mean like you are just depleted. Your bank account of energy is at negative, right? Then this is for you. We are here. You're in the right place. We're talking about that quiet burnout, the kind that nobody sees, but you feel every single day. You can feel it internally, but the fact that you're so used to being on go, you are high functioning, high achieving, very successful, but in the inside you really feel like you are about to just shrivel up, like it is the end of everything. Or you just feel like you just are not going to make it because you are so empty. The kind that nobody sees it, but you feel it every day. You feel depleted. You feel tired. Listen, I want you to grab you some water, get cozy, and let's talk about what's really going on underneath the surface. What is causing this burnout? What's happening during this burnout? And where we are. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to drop where you're tuning in from and one word that describes your energy tonight. What's one word that describes your energy where you are today? I talk a lot about the capacity that you have. What's your capacity that you check in with yourself type of thing. And so I want to know what's one word that describes your energy today. And then where are you from? Hey. Yes, listen. And especially listen, PJ, when we talk about being in the help service or the health service, or you are in anything where you are servicing other people, that depletion is so easy. And because we are so used to giving ourselves, what we tend to do is not really pay attention to what we have going on, how we're feeling in the inside, because we're so used to it. We're like, oh, we just got to get the things done, right? And so for those people who are in the healthcare profession, you know what I'm talking about. I've been there, done that. And so I want us to talk about what that looks like and then what we're going to end up doing about it, because that's what's important. We think burnout means that it's a total collapse, like we are completely shut down. And that is not the case. The truth is, burnout often shows up as when you are snapping at people that you love. We do that all the time. We show up for the people at work, and we show up in ways that we are helping all the people all the time. And then when we get home, we feel like, you know what, I can release. And then we start snapping, right? Because we don't have to perform when we get home. So we think. Right? So we end up cutting ourselves off from the ones that we love, and we end up snapping out at them. Or we're saying yes when our soul is screaming no. When we know we don't have the energy, when we know we don't have the time, when we know we don't have the capacity to do anything more, but yet we say, okay, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep doing the things, right? And sometimes that can be our worst enemy. PJ, you said, yes, I do to my partner. How do you know? Because it was me. Listen, I'm telling you, been there. And so I wouldn't call it as, you are taking your mask off once you get home because you were so used to, I no longer have to perform when I get here, right? And so that's what that looks like. And so it also looks like being high functioning. On the outside, you're high functioning on the outside. So at work, we're high functioning. When we got to deal with our kids, we're high functioning. When we have to deal with community, when we have to give ourselves, we are high functioning because we have to. And really, as women, the way we show up is already at a level 10, right? We naturally show up and give everything that we have, and we don't give enough to ourselves. And so being high function on the outside, but being numb on the inside, where you just feel like you're going with the motion of things. It typically looks like that muscle memory. If you're an athlete, or if you've ever done the things, the muscle memory, your muscle just remembers, okay, this is what we do. This is how this happens. And so that's how we, as high functioning, over functioning women, tend to do. That's what we do. We over function and we are high functioning. And then on the inside, we feel like, if I could just sit down, if I could just take a breath, if I could just rest. I want you to drop a heart if you have been there, or if you're there right now. If you have been there, or you are there right now, and you know what this feels like, you know what that burnout feels like. If those things that I described to you looks like you, if you've been snapping at your loved one, if you are saying yes when you know you need to be resting, when you know you need the time to sit down, when you know that you need to be in rest mode, right? Or you know you need to just say no. A lot of times when you are in burnout, you don't even realize what you're doing, and you're always over explaining the things, right? And we don't just understand, hey, no is no. No is a complete sentence, and we don't need anything else after that. So if you're snapping at the people that you love, if you are saying yes when you know you should be saying no, if you are high functioning on the outside, but then you feel so numb on the inside, that is not balance. That's burnout with lip gloss on. What do they say? You can't put a lipstick on pig? That's exactly what that is. We are putting on lip gloss on burnout, lipstick on the pig. It looks all pretty on the outside, and on the inside, it is rotten because of what it has been consuming and what it has been doing, right? And so we have to be very careful of what we do and how burnout shows it up in our lives. And it may manifest for you in different ways. So if you find that you know that you're burnt out, what's an example of something that you have experienced in your burnout? What's something that you can look at and you're like, you know what? If I look back on it, this is something that has caused me to be in burnout. Because burnout is not just doing too much. It's about doing too much of what is not aligned with who you really are. Yes, you are a mother. Yes, you are somebody's employee, or you are an entrepreneur, or you are a leader, or you have all of these titles. But at your core, you are not the titles that you hold. Right? And so what we tend to do is experience that burnout because we are not aligned with who we really are. We are trying to be in alignment with the titles that we hold. And a lot of times, if you come to someone and you say, hey, tell me who you really are at your core, it's going to be hard to answer. Why? Because we haven't even thought about those things. What are the things, I asked this a couple of days ago on one of my posts, what are the things that are to your core, the things that you value? Have you thought about those things? Have you thought about the things that truly make up who you are? Because when you think about that, when you think about the things that truly make up who you are, you really start to experience things in different ways. You listen, you want to be there for you, right? You can't handle trying to be for everybody else if you can't be for yourself. You've heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, as cliche as it's saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, as cliche as it sounds, you cannot pour from something you don't have. If I had a bottle of water and I drank it all because I was super thirsty, when I go back to get some more, it's going to be empty. I'm not going to be able to share it with anybody else. If I've been pouring into other people for so long, when I go to get some for myself, it's going to be gone. It's absolutely, Listen, PJ, I don't know if you follow me, but I want you to go follow me. If you don't follow me, go follow me, okay? Go follow, go follow, go follow. Because one thing that I talk about so often is self-care is not selfish. It is your birthright. It is something that's non-negotiable. Self-care, taking care of you, should be the priority every day of the week. And a lot of times we are conditioned to think that it's selfish when we are pouring into ourselves. But how can we pour into somebody else if we haven't had the opportunity to pour into us? How can we truly know how to get ourselves aligned with the things that we need to be aligned with if we don't know who we truly are at its core? And that's a real thing. We are so conditioned as women to take care of us at all times, doing all the things, carrying the load, being the strong one, having to go over and beyond for everyone, and that we forget ourselves. So often that's what happened. It's the saying yes when you're tired. When you are tired, you are saying yes, and that is the root of burnout. When it's not having boundaries. If you don't have clear boundaries that you have set for yourself, you are asking for burnout. And listen, I was one of those who was just like, oh, I don't, yes, I got to do this. And they asked me, I don't really want to say no. I have to go over and beyond. I have to prove my worth. Oh my gosh. Like, the prove your worth is not in what you produce. That's okay. That's okay, because somebody don't believe me. Your worth is not in what you produce. You cannot sit here and say to me that, you know what, I am worth rest because I was able to get a degree. No, you don't have to have a degree to get rest. You can work at McDonald's and work all day long and be like, you know what, I need rest. You could have driven the kids around as a stay-at-home mom and be like, you know what, I need rest. Y'all come get these kids. You deserve rest. It's your birthright. You deserve peace. It's your birthright. You deserve to be able to set all of these boundaries for yourself. It is your birthright. You have to be able to set these examples. And I'm going to go back to boundaries because a lot of times we think that we set these boundaries for other people, and boundaries are not for other people. Boundaries are for ourselves. No one, absolutely no one has to respect your boundaries. Nobody has to respect your boundaries, but one person. And you know who that is? You. It's you. You are the only person who has to respect your boundaries. If those around you are not respecting what it is that you've set out, the boundaries that you have, that tells you something. Non-verbal communication is more important than verbal communication. Because while you can say, oh yeah, I respect everything that you're saying. I want you to be, set these boundaries for yourself, if your friend, your significant other, your job, your whomever. Oh, I have these, I want you to set these boundaries for you, and I want to respect these things, and yet they keep on trampling over them. Why are they trampling over them? Because you allow for them to. We got to set healthy boundaries for ourselves, and we have to be the ones to respect those boundaries. And when we respect those boundaries, we uphold them. People don't have to treat you a certain way, but you do. And when you start to treat yourself with the worth, with the respect, with the peace, then others will fall in line. They won't have any other choice because you've set that for yourself. It's hard now. I'm not going to pretend like this stuff just happens overnight, because it absolutely does not. You took so many years of allowing people to take advantage, allowing for no boundaries to be set out, allowing for yourself not to rest, allowing for yourself to be in burnout. All of that stuff took time to happen, and it won't stop overnight. You have to start putting those things in place for you to do it. The root of burnout, it's believing you have to earn rest. You don't have to earn it. It's your birthright. It's what you are guaranteed. Why? Because you got to take care of you. It is not selfish for you to take care of you. It is vital. It is important. It is a must. And you have to take that on as that being Because if you don't, I want to give you this example. We watched as that case played out with the healthcare insurance guy who was taken out by the guy whose mom was going through all this insurance stuff, right? They reported that this man had passed away that afternoon. 2 days later, his job was posted. Now, I'm not saying that your job isn't important. What I'm saying is when you're gone, you're going to be replaced. What I'm saying is when you hit that burnout and you got to go to the hospital and you can no longer perform the things that you were doing, guess what? They're going to replace you with someone else. I'm not saying to you, don't do your job, don't do it to the best of your ability. What I am saying is that you have them off days, them sick days, use them. Rest. You shouldn't just use them when it's time for you to go to the doctor or when you really are sick. Absolutely not. Do you know that when you call in for work, they can't legally ask you, hey, why are you calling out? I won't be in today. Now, oftentimes they will ask you, but legally, they're not supposed to ask you that. I won't be in today. Okay? All right. Take your time. Understand that you deserve rest. It's your birthright. You have to be able to set those boundaries. And that when you're tired, stop saying yes. Those are three of the things that are not the only things, but those are three things that will completely get you into the habit of being burnt out. So now we're going to talk about what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? I have created this 3-part formula. And listen, y'all, I'm not just giving you stuff that is going to sound cute and fluffy, right? The things that I'm telling you, the things that are in this 3-part formula are scientifically backed things. Y'all, I went to school for this. I didn't just wake up and say, you know what, I'm taking an online course and I'm just going to, learn a little bit of this. No, I went to school for this for several years. Okay, all right, that's all I'm saying. So the 3-part formula. First thing, it's called glow, right? It is reconnecting your nervous system because oftentimes our nervous system reacts in our old self. And if we are trying to be on a journey of becoming something else and doing something else and getting out of all the things, guess what? We've got to teach ourselves new things. We've got to teach ourselves new ways of being. We can no longer react as our old selves and that nervous system. Our nervous system is so used to reacting to the way that we used to. And so when we're on our journey of becoming, we have to reset our nervous system, right? So when we're resetting our nervous system, we are teaching it how we want it to respond for our future self. We are looking at what our values are when we're in glow. You're looking at what your values are, who you are truly to your core. What makes you, you? What makes me, me? First and foremost, authenticity, intentionality, honesty, clear communication. Like those are things to my core that I stand for. Freedom of time. Those are things to my core that I stand for. And when I think about the things that I stand for and what I am in alignment with, if those things, if whatever decision I'm making, whatever comes to place, if it's personal, if it's business, if it is not in alignment with my core values, the answer is no. The answer is no. It's no. Because guess what? It goes against what I believe. It goes against what I'm saying. It goes against what I truly want and where I'm going. I can no longer react and respond in the old me if I have new goals and behaviors I'm trying to achieve. If I could, I would have already done it. I would have already been there. But I'm not. Right? I can't continue to do the old things and thinking that a new something is going to emerge. It does not work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Right? So we look at our nervous system. How do we reset our nervous system to respond in a different manner? Because that's super important. We look at what our core values are and then what our voice says. How do I show up for myself consistently? How do I choose me above anything else? It sounds selfish, but it's not. Self-care is probably the most important part. This is one of those things where we like to call this self-parenting, right? When you think about how you parent your kid, when you think about how you parent your child, you are teaching them the things that they need to know in order to be productive citizens, right? You have to go back and self-parent you. Teaching yourself how to be a new productive you. So that's what that first part of it is. Glowing, reconnecting with your nervous system, understanding what your values are, and realigning yourself with your voice. And then the second part of that formula is grow. That's setting the boundaries and releasing all the old patterns that you had, right? So as you can see, it's stepped on top of steps on top of steps. We can't just say, you know what, I want to be in alignment with what my passion is and be like, okay, what are you passionate about? We don't know what passion about is. When do we find out what our core is? What do we value? And then no matter what, if we can't self-regulate, if we can't reset our nervous system, no matter what we're passionate about, we might mess some stuff up because we're trying to react instead of respond into where we're going. So we want to really be careful of what order we take things in. And the order that I'm telling you is fail-proof. It is fail-proof. So we're looking at and grow. How do we set those boundaries and release old patterns that we've had before, right? And then the last one is align. That's moving with clarity and not chaos. We are moving with clarity. We are moving with clear communication with ourselves, with those that are around us. We are not waking up in chaos anymore. We are being intentional about our lives. And this is the blueprint I'll be walking you through inside the Glow, Grow, and Align mini lab. I have a Glow, Grow, and Align mini lab where we'll go so much into depth about this. It is free, y'all. It is July 29th at 7 p.m. You can check the link in my bio to sign up for it. Again, it is free. It's free. And we're going to go into depth. It is 90 minutes. It is not fluff. It is not another self-help talk. It is a space where we will transform lives, right? Where we will go in and say, this was the old me. And when you leave out, you're going to leave out with a blueprint of what you need to do within the next 90 days to get you to where you want to be. Now, I'm going to tell you, although you have the blueprint when you leave from me on July the 29th, if you don't follow it, guess what? You won't get anywhere. So while I want to be able to give you the blueprint, you got to be able to commit to yourself, right? You've got to be able to do the things that says, I am here for me. The mini lab is free, y'all. It is 90-minute live experience for all of my high achieving women like you who are ready to get out of burnout and into alignment. It is intimate. It is powerful. And yes, it is free. But the growth that you will experience is priceless. I love the book, The Let Them Theory. If you have not, go back, PJ, and look on my page. I'm giving a breakdown of what the Let Them Theory, what I got from the Let Them Theory and how I use it. Yes, love that book. So if you are tired of holding it all together with that shaky smile, with that dull feeling in the inside, this is your moment to reclaim your peace with purpose. So please listen, click the link in the bio, or drop lab in the comments and I'll DM you the link personally. It is free. It's 90 minutes. It's a live experience. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. You will leave there with a blueprint for what you can do in the next 90 days to get yourself to where you want to be. I'm going to set you up for success. It's going to be up to you to use it. Okay? So I want to close out with an affirmation. You are not too much. You've just been carrying too much alone. I'm going to say it again. You are not too much. You have just been carrying too much alone. I see you. I see you. I got you. I got you. And I would be honored to guide you in the inside of this mini lab so that you can see yourself again, so that you can realign with yourself again. Okay? I want you to say this affirmation with me. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to realign. I am allowed to receive. Register now while the spots are still open. We are starting on July the 29th at 7 p.m. Tag your sister friend, tag your healing partner, tag your accountability partner, anyone who's ready to glow, grow, and align. Tag them. Get them in the room for this mini lab. I promise you, you will not regret it. You will set yourself up for all the great and amazing things that are to come. But listen, you have to do the work. I'm going to give you the blueprint, but you got to do the work. And we're going to do it together on July the 29th at 7 p.m. in the Glow, Grow, and Aligned mini lab. All right, y'all. I will see y'all on July 29th. I'll see y'all before then because I'm going to come back probably, I don't know, maybe Monday before and talk about something else. But definitely July 29th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time in the Glow, Grow, and Align mini lab. 90 minutes, carefree. Get your blueprint. Let's reset. Let's realign. And let me be honored to help you along your journey. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later. DM me if you need the direct link. I will send that to you. Go to my bio. Check it out. You can go to my website. You will find the registration for the Glow, Grow, and Align mini lab. And send that to all your friends, okay? All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Have an amazing night. Smooches.